let's go live. Hey guys, what's up? Should be live now. Can you guys see the screen? I don't see this refreshing. Maybe close and reopen. Hey guys, what's up? Yep, I am currently live, so that's good. Reopen to start. Is there anybody in here? So, the current plan is, since Kombat Kast starts in 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the early discussions that Ed Boon was having today at Gamescom, which was the second panel, which also had some Mortal Kombat info. This was pretty early today. So yeah, I might as well just show you guys here on stream. You already know what the timestamp is.
This fall, Mortal Kombat 1 returns with the same blood-soaked, bone-crunching action we've come to expect from the series, but it's also got some new tricks up its sleeve. Here to tell me about it is Ed Boon from NetherRealm Studios. Welcome back to the Asian stage here, Ed.
Thanks. It's always great to talk to you guys.
So, just about a little less than a month out from the launch of Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat is really known for having these excellent story modes enjoyed by casual and hardcore fans alike. I think you guys are just the best at including story modes in your fighting game. When did that become important for NetherRealm? Over the course of Mortal Kombat's 30-year history, when did it become important for you to put all this extra time and polish into the story mode?
Lose anything, but here to
Actually, it was back in Mortal Kombat versus DC was the first time we did that. A lot of people think that it was Mortal Kombat 9 that we did it, but MK versus DC had it. And it was something that we really had to refine, getting a lot of the stuff under the hood going as far as having it to function. But with each version that we've done, it's been more and more well received by players. And so we just kind of raising the presentation bar, and it's kind of become a staple with our games at this point.
Yeah, I agree. As someone who likes fighting games but isn't super good at them competitively, I love having a fun single-player mode to play through the game myself. Yeah. So having reset the timeline with Mortal Kombat 11, what were some of the key stories that you wanted to revisit and recalibrate over the 30-year saga?
We actually wanted to revisit and recalibrate and reinvent everything. The whole goal with making the Mortal Kombat 1 story was taking the existing characters that everybody knows and putting them in a brand new story, literally starting from a big bang that Liu Kang creates. And so it's a new story with familiar characters, and all the relationships we're trying to change around to be different and just kind of reintroduce all the characters.
Invasions are replacing the crypt this time around, which I think we saw some footage of just now. What can you tell us about this new mode for unlocking cool extras for your characters?
Sure. Like you were speaking about before, we've always put a big focus on the single-player experience, and Invasions is kind of like the next step. So if you look at it, you can almost think of Invasions as a board game that is multiple city blocks long. So the player is going from node to node, getting challenges, getting rewards, getting all of these different tasks they have to do. And it has an RPG element, so they're leveling up their character, they're getting them stronger, and it's probably the most reward-friendly part of Mortal Kombat 1. It has most of the rewards are just really buried in there. And it's a very long, extensive single-player experience that we upgrade with a new season about every 6 weeks.
This is the
That sounds great. I can't wait to dive into that. Now, you've had several betas over the past few months. What learnings have you taken from that and have been able to incorporate into the final game?
A lot. We absolutely we had the tech beta and we've had the pre-order bonus, and each one we've seen so many things that players have done that we had no idea could be done. A lot of them were great fun things, but there was a couple that we had to kind of turn a few knobs to make sure, kind of the speed of the motion of the characters we dialed up a bit. And there was just tons of constructive feedback that we got from players that, it was invaluable to have those demos.
Now, you've revealed, included in your upcoming downloadable characters are Omni-Man, Homelander, Peacemaker. For Homelander and Peacemaker, you've got Anthony Starr and John Cena, the likenesses of the actors. Are the actors actually coming in to record any dialogue or any grunts for the characters?
We had J.K. Simmons coming in. We had John Cena. You know, so we're super fortunate to get them excited enough that they know they know what Mortal Kombat is, and they come in, and it just adds that additional layer of like authenticity to get the voice actor in there.
Yeah, that's very cool. And then actually in a recent interview with IGN, you were talking about Omni-Man and Homelander. Even though the characters are actually fairly similar, you're going to make sure that they play very differently in the final game. Can you elaborate on that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a number of people think of Homelander and Omni-Man as evil versions of Superman, right? And so they have, you know, super strength, they can fly, and they're that kind of category. But we're absolutely going to make them play differently. You know, there's obviously a ton you can do with a character that can fly and is that strong. You know, just paths that they take. Right. You know, it's not like it's this free for all. So they will absolutely play differently.
And when it comes to designing fatalities, obviously it seems like you guys have no limits, like let's just go as crazy, as wacky as possible. But with characters like Homelander that are seemingly all-powerful, at that is that an extra challenge, or do you have to actually show some restraint at that point?
No. It's one of the easy ones. You know, Good. We're such fans of these characters, and we've watched the shows, and we love making, getting inspiration from some of the things that they've done in the shows and turning them into a fatality. So that's going to be a big part of that whole experience of playing those characters.
That's super exciting.
Right,
here at Gamescom, you have new playable characters, Sindel and General Shao. What can you tell us about how they fit into the story?
Oh, well, they, you know, in Mortal Kombat 11, you know, we presented them like they were married, right? Like, and they were absolutely aligned. It's much more, I don't want to give the whole thing away, but it's much more confrontational with them this time, and you know, it is still about kind of struggle for power in that respect, but their situations are completely different from what they were in Mortal Kombat 11, which is the case with all of our characters. So there's definitely some headbutting between those two.
Then you also revealed two new cameo characters, Motaro and Shujinko.
That's right.
How do you like make the decisions? Okay, this is going to be a playable character. This one's cameo. This one's going to be both. How do those talks play out?
A lot of it is a character like Motaro. You know, he'd be hard to control. As you know, we had him playable, or we had him as a boss in Mortal Kombat 3, and it's a character that is fun to see, but because of their shape, makes for a better cameo than he would a main roster fighter. And as far as Shujinko is concerned, Shujinko is part of the 3D era characters that we're really making an effort to bring back. And since he isn't part of the story, we put him into the cameo roster, and which is the cameo roster in general. Most of them are unrelated to the story, so those are the novelties that we add. So characters that you haven't seen in a long time are just making these kind of cameo appearances.
Let me see the
last question. With less than a month to go before Mortal Kombat 1, what's the one thing you're most excited about for players to discover with this game?
For me, it's the cameo fighters, but there's a ton of new things. You know, the invasion is going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of secrets in there. You know, this is Mortal Kombat. That's a big part of what we consider
that should
its
be
signature,
better, right?
is these secrets. But there's so much single player experience. You know, more than we've ever put in a big game. To me, the cameo fighters is going to be what's really going to let players come up with new ideas, express themselves with combining their favorite fighter, and it's the mixing and matching of these main cameo fighters that I think is going to be the kind of like the sandbox that everybody's going to be playing in.
I'm super excited. Ed, thank you so much for coming by the IGN stage.
Thanks for having me.
Mortal Kombat 1 hits PS5, Xbox Series P.
That's how much they went over for the Gamescom thing. About, you know. This is the highest quality we can get at the moment for this. Alright, so refreshing was, I'm pretty sure it's Control R, so we should be fine. It at least confirmed for me that not all cameos will serve a role in the story. The pity, honestly, I'd rather have them in at least one cutscene. Yeah, they'd already mentioned that a few times before. They'd said that cameos were not story related in the slightest, that they might be one or two. And they've already shown that they are going to be story-only cameos that are not playable. I actually got a glimpse at one of them. And apparently the non-playable cameos from the story mode might be able to appear in invasion battles as well, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. But they're pretty limited for what I can see. They tend to be like one move or two. Then again, I did hear that Sonya have a long dialogue line, so I wonder if she might be something. I have no clue. Maybe for invasion? Yeah, it's very possible that's an invasion thing. By the way, is there nothing like distorting my audio at the moment, like a fan or anything like that that you can hear?
The Kombat Kast starts now.
No, not really? Okay, awesome.
All right, and welcome to a very special Kombat Cast. Kind of slipping one in here.
Yeah.
I remember I did say that we were going to have a Derek and me fight for this one, but they're at Gamescom.
Right.
But we just showed a trailer, so we wanted to show off some characters, yeah?
He went all the way to Germany just to avoid fighting you.
I was not going to say that,
You're good. Okay, thank you,
but
Hotaro.
it's accurate. So here we are. We're going to show, today's going to be probably a little bit of a shorter stream. We don't have any guests or anything like that, but we're going to walk through 3 characters today. Before we start that, let's introduce ourselves.
Stephanie Brownback, QA lead.
And I'm Tyler Lansdowne, one of the community managers here at NetherRealm Studios.
They've added
super
some
excited
UI
to show you
elements.
some stuff
Cool.
from the trailer.
Yes.
But before we do that, if you haven't seen it yet, we should show them the trailer again. Do you want to send it off?
Here we go. It's the Queen's Court.
Awesome.
Okay. So we're getting the trailer
Our world
again,
can be both
which is
alien
fine.
and intoxicated to Earthrealmers. All our realms are at peace. There are Outworlders who would prefer us to be at war. General Shao.
Victor of the Tavarian War, conqueror of the Quatan Plains.
Honestly,
All of
from the
our
breakdowns,
world
I'm only
is
really
grateful
interested in
for his
Rain.
service.
Like, this is gonna make or break whether or not I'll main Rain on day one. This is my day one pick. I hope he's not a zoner completely. I hope he has good tools, close range, and cool
Consign us
combos.
to endless war.
Better that than be Liu Kang's lapdog.
Did not your illustrious father teach you that war is the last resort? Do not forget that, General.
Man, her scream is back. And it restands, so she gets another full combo conversion.
Husband's legacy to continue the
For
tournament
extinction.
that he founded with Lord Liu Kang.
Empress Sindel.
Let us meet your champion.
Earthrealm's champion is raided, Your Majesty.
Is it me? Or is Earthrealm's champion scrawnier than usual?
He has earned his place by embodying the very best qualities of Earthrealm's people. I am
I
ready,
don't know how
Your
I feel
Majesty.
about Rain
Whom
being
shall I
a
face?
mage, not having neutral water control ability. Nevertheless, I do like it. Man, I really hope he's not just a mage. I was so happy for him to be in the game. I wanted him to be really cool, close range fighter, like he always been.
Taste no victory.
But let's see. Electro can steal your opponent's moves. I wonder if Rain is still the treacherous scum like an MKX. Honestly, no clue. They haven't really shown anything about Rain.
Who's your queen?
I've seen this trailer enough times already.
All right, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
exciting. I've been waiting for this one to come out because of a certain character.
Same here. Probably not the same character.
I like them all, but I'll let you start.
Yeah, I mean, Sindel, one of my all-time favorite MK characters. Super stoked she's back. Also, though, Motaro, my favorite sub-boss. I will take him over any Shokan any day.
Okay. I'm General Shao. I've been super excited since I knew that he was in the game. I've been excited
Same,
to show him.
yeah.
Fights a little differently this time around, but
Yes.
it's definitely a character that's like up my alley and something that I really enjoy. So the bigs.
Of
Very
course.
excited to show him off. Hope you all enjoyed the trailer, and today we're going to go through some of those characters.
Yeah, and also, just don't want to forget, Shujenko.
Yes.
If we're bringing back some of these 3D era characters, you got to have the Deception protagonist.
Yep, and we will not be showing him a lot today at all,
Right.
but soon.
yeah,
and
just a
then-
little hint of him.
Yeah, very exciting. So I think we should talk about Sindel real quickly.
I think we should start
Oh,
with the
come
queen.
on.
So, before we get into the gameplay,
You're gonna actually
let's
make me wait for
discuss
Rain.
Who would play Sindel? What's her game plan? How does she work?
Well, Sindel from the very beginning, all the way back in MK3, and then you saw in 9 and the last game, has been kind of a space control, zoning character, but then these little dashes of swag with her flight cancels and some of her more interesting moves and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of kind of, basic keep out stuff, but then there's when you get in, when you get your game going, she has some really cool combos and setups and stuff like that. So she appeals to someone like me, who's more straightforward, but then like kind of the technical people really, really like her too. She also is just
I bet Rain is the last one after
Cool.
Shao and
And she does
Sindel.
have some mechanics.
don't
we
do
showed
that
at
to
the
me,
end of
bro.
the Breakdown that are kind of different. Something we've
Yeah.
not done before.
It's fine,
Yeah.
best for last.
She has some
but
exciting new
man,
stuff
I'm
we'll show at the end of this breakdown that literally wouldn't
I
have
hope
been
not.
possible before the cameo system.
Let's take a look at the Queen.
All right, so let's start with some of the basics.
Oh, you get some Serena
Two cool
gameplay.
things about her in this game is she has these cool VFX, like this purple energy, and then the use of her hair.
Regal purple. The Queen.
Absolutely. She has really good range, as you'd imagine someone with magical long hair. And there's a couple normals I really want to
kinda
talk
weak
about.
throw.
First is forward 4, which kind of takes out of a page of the last game, and it's like kind of her main mid-range tool you want to use to get in.
And that's a mid, right?
Yes.
No, thank
And
God,
it's
it's
pretty
mid.
quick, but it has a really neat new follow-up. She jumps into the air. It's a low combo starter, and she can actually control how far she goes. She can do the close version
That's a low.
and actually land right in front of them, far version. Or she can just do it by itself, go in for a throw. Go
That's a
for-
wrap.
Thank you. Go for this cool low. Or one of her block strings. Another normals is back 2, which leads into an overhead, and she can combo into it, or you can do back 2 by itself and actually be airborne. Let's go over her special moves. We'll start with the classic, the Scream, the iconic, quintessential Sindel. It's still one of her best combo starters. It stuns. They can't hear anything for a while. She's gonna get a free
You can
hit.
do it more than once in a
Do it
combo.
mid-range if you think you caught them sleeping, not blocking. Like I said, it's great to hit confirm
Melina Lee May and
just-
Sindel all have
exactly
I just
full
throw it out
abilities now. Yeah.
all the time.
all the time. Then let's go over fireballs, which are always one of the most important kind of key things about
She has her
Kombat.
low Banshee
She
screen.
has
Oh, she
high
doesn't have low
hairball.
Banshee.
Low hairball.
Which is in the moves list.
Yes, that's canonical. Hairball. And then air hairball. New to this game is it's a straight, very quick fireball. It is not the downward arc it has previously done. You can do it really low to the ground and it's quick, and I think it's pretty effective. Look at that, I still got it. Her EX versions have some interesting properties. So,
Oh, we're getting options.
straight one, oops, the straight one will actually eat up fireballs. So if you use a bar meter in a zoning war, you'll actually beat out their projectile. And the low ones are really neat. So she adds that little hair whip at the beginning, and up close, actually a hit that will pop them up.
Oh,
Things in the corner, you can
you
do
get a
cool
full
stuff,
combo off of it.
like get a combo. Oh my gosh.
Just do 4-4.
There we go. Maybe I don't still have it.
I think you do.
Thank you. So it kind of, it's neat. It turns this pure zoning tool
Not really a
up
fireball,
close
more
into
like a
actual
sound
offensive tool.
So two
bait
different ways
ball
you
to
can
be
use it.
precise.
Exactly.
Both
Yeah.
equally cool.
You can also
It
use
still
that
counts as a
in
projectile,
mix-ups,
but it's
which
not
gets
really
to
a
the next
fireball.
tool, her cartwheel.
It's just
the
a term that
overhead.
people use for
Straight
zoning
K9.
projectiles. They use fireball.
The exit, it has armor. It's really good up close. It's great as a wake-up attack. You can use it after a move like this. You can mix it up with low, or sweep, and a really fun down three. Look at that.
So, like for me, when I play against you, you really have to be paying attention because one of the moves is a mid, the other is an overhead.
Exactly.
They look different, but you have to.
Yes.
You can't be on autopilot.
Right. And then lastly, she has the classic levitate.
It's quite cool to be honest. I like
Air,
Sindel and
drop
MK9.
straight
I haven't
down.
played Aftermath. But
So, like for
seems
example, you're trying to
neat.
zone. You
Yeah,
can spin
she's
in
really good
fireballs
in
to go under your hairball.
in MK11. She's
Not
one of
very
the best
effective
characters in
when you throw
MK11.
Fireball when you're literally not touching the ground.
Right.
She can also cancel it, and she can do fun cancels. Like for example, she could do the back two, the airborne, go under flight, and if you EX it, it's actually significantly faster. And she has some true block strings that they won't be able to interrupt.
Got it.
Now let's talk about how this can play into her cameo. I have chosen, oops, set it to all. I have chosen Serena, who we got a little taste of in the last trailer, but now we're actually going to show her moves. So her first
Okay.
attack is the blade. It's a very quick projectile. You can see the cooldown is pretty quick. Then she also has Kia's blades. She goes full demon, throws multiple, they come back, and this actually leads into combos. So you can
Yeah,
do
it looks
fun
kind of
stuff.
like the meter burning jade projectiles in
Turn
other
that
games.
into a full combo.
That did look fun.
It is fun.
And she can really get up in the air
Yes.
in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
In a
I
lot
mean,
of
yeah.
ways. She also has her demon up kick, which is a great wake-up attack. It's invincible. It's really quick. You can also use it as an anti-air. And then lastly, she has a fourth move. Every cameo has at least three, and some might have more. So she's one of those. Jakata's Curse. She puts this rune on the ground, and while the opponent is standing in it, let's set it to default.
The
Because
drain
meters being
super?
drained. Pretty quick.
Yeah,
you can
pretty
see.
fast.
Yeah. Now this is an ambush move, which means you can do it while Sindel's doing other actions. So for example,
Oh my
while
god, you
have
hit
a
her in the
combo
corner
going,
and you
summon her.
guarantee.
Oh, there's a lot of setups there.
Yeah, so you can imagine you can use that in the corner, in the middle of your combo, have her coming out, drain your meter, stuff like that. She could even do nasty stuff like drain your meter so you can't break a combo in the middle of your combo.
She's not going to like breakers very much.
She does not, which is let's maybe get into that a little bit more. So let's go back to what we said earlier. Sindel has a couple of moves using the cameo system.
Yeah, quick projectile being back is
So,
pretty nice.
you know, Sindel in the lore, she's the queen. She has this commanding presence. She has, you know, what the kids would say is Riz.
Oh, they would say that.
Thank you. And, you know, she could use that to actually command her
Definitely not
cameo
cringe.
and maybe more. So let's start with this buff move. Once you activate it, while it's active, cooldown, it will be significantly faster for your cameo. So you can see normally, this move's already pretty quick. Once she has this active, it's even quicker, and Serena, she is recovering so fast her
Wait,
cooldown.
Sindel has a move.
She could basically do that, like, almost indefinitely. So you can turn what normally would be kind of a limited use move into something that you can just use almost like any other special move. Or some of the other ones, like Kia's Blades, that have a pretty long cooldown. It's significantly faster when she has that active.
Now she's giving herself up there.
Correct.
There is some, yeah.
Correct. But once she gets going, her cameo use is substantially better. There's also an EX
What the
version
hell?
with a
That's
really
broken.
interesting twist. When she EX it,
No, they started with Sindel.
she's now
You're good.
commanding the opponent's cameo, and if the opponent tries to break, they will be stunned, and you get a reset instead.
The
So
hell?
let's show that again. I have the move active. The opponent goes for a breaker. You can see Sonya actually is like, gets the little head and, you know, oh my god, I'm confused. And your breaker is not just disabled. Once you get that stun, they will be popped up and Sindel gets a full reset.
That's broken.
No breakers allowed.
Couple ways to avoid them. Seems
Yes.
like for her.
There's also
Sindel gets
another
to
really
recharge
interesting
her
I'd like to
character
show.
quicker, and she also gets to make sure you can't break.
So for this one, Sindel can take control of an opponent's cameo and stun them. So for example, I will call it out, and Sonya is actually dizzy.
Yep.
If Sindel is in the middle of doing this move, where she points, while the cameo's out, so you have to do it on a read, the cameo is stunned for this entire length of time and cannot be summoned.
Okay.
There's also an EX version. With this version, Sonya will leave the screen and I gain control of her. And I actually get a free use of either of the cameo's moves of my choosing. So for example, I now have Square Wave. And
And
that
you-
use of
you can
cameo-
pick any of
Oh my
Correct.
god.
Not just
Any
the one
of
they were
Sonya's
doing.
moves. Right.
Got it.
I have control over it.
Yeah, she's gonna be a
for a
nightmare
pretty
on
good
harder
amount of
difficulties.
time, and it does not cost any kind of cooldown or anything. So you could actually do stuff like I could summon Sonya to start leg grab to go into a combo, and then go into Serena's demon like anti-air move to end the combo if I wanted. You could even use 3 cameo moves in one combo if you wanted to.
People are gonna have some fun in training mode on this one.
Yeah, it's really, really neat. And it's something that's gonna, you know, how effective and the way you use it's gonna change on what the opponent's cameo is.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Do we want to do Fatal Blow? Is that
I
all?
think that's the best way we can finish, right?
Let's do it. I love how the sword is all.
Oh yeah,
Very
nice.
amazing.
I noticed that they haven't done Serena's forward throw.
That is a nasty one.
Yeah, the leg pull. I feel that. Yeah,
It's
that's.
definitely amongst the most.
Making
brutal
Sindel
in the game, I
OP to
think.
make up for how they made
Pretty
everyone
bad.
despise her in
I love it.
11.
Good.
Everyone
bad.
hated her in
Yeah.
11
You know what I mean.
because she was
Cool.
strong as hell.
Let's
I don't think
move
making
on
her
to Ray.
strong in this
I
game
think
is
so.
going to help people.
Again, as we were talking about Sindel,
Not hate her.
Who does Rain? Who plays Rain? What players play them?
I think Rain's always been kind of a flashy character that appeals to people that like to hit buttons.
Yeah.
Rain's, though, quite a bit different in this game. Rain
Ah.
has traditionally been a ninja. In this game, in Liu Kang's new era, he's been completely reimagined as a mage. He's the high mage in Sindel's court, and his moveset has substantially changed. There will be little
Oh, you mean character-wise?
hints and fud nods to the previous versions
maybe.
of Rain, like you'd expect,
Right.
but he's going to be one of the more radically altered characters, and I think it's an interesting.
I
take.
hate
So,
that
And like
they
we've done in the new era,
they're already
like, all
saying
the
that he's not
characters
going to
will
be
have-
like
they're
Ren.
still
I already hate it.
somewhat who you know. There's still stuff that's
Right.
going to bring you back to them that you loved using when we were younger.
yes.
But they've definitely changed.
Oh, okay, yeah, that
he
makes more
probably
sense.
has
Yeah,
like
that's probably why.
mostly new moves to go with his new role, like his new power set. It's pretty neat. So let's check it out.
Let's do it.
Man, they ruined Rain.
So you'll notice right off the bat, he has a new weapon, which is his wizard staff. And he uses it in most of his normal attacks. And he is definitely now much less of a physical fighter than he ever has been before. He is a very powerful mage, and he uses it in most of his attacks. There's a couple normals I really wanted to talk about. Like you can see even his sweep. Instead of using his foot, he literally uses his water staff. This is definitely
I
the
love
coolest
the
move.
kick up,
It's-
the
it's
kick up.
so good.
And you'll notice the water leaves the top, gets in there, and then comes back to the top.
Right. I absolutely love it. So let's start off with a couple normals I really wanted to show. His forward 2, forward 2, 1, 3 is just like really good range mid, pretty quick. He's also got forward 3, which is an overhead, into a double overhead, and he gets a pop-up. That'll be one of his most important, I think. And then one other normal I really wanted to show was a standing 4, which
Oh
even
my
though he's no
god.
longer a ninja, he still has tremendous leg strength.
Right.
So strong that he can actually kick you across the world.
That's just stand
Now, this
for?
is an interesting one because if you hold it, he gets a combo. And he can also
That combo
cancel out of
saves
the
though.
hole to fake you out.
Okay.
There you go. See, I'm good. And let's check out his throw, which is a nice nod to the classic water bubble. He goes in with you, and then you burst out.
I couldn't see it do it again.
So you can see his normal attacks are very fresh and different. And I think the water effects are
I'm already
awesome.
really
So
mad.
you want to go into his special moves?
I think so.
So he has some really interesting zoning tools. I mean, some might even call him a premier zoner. And let's start with his straight projectile, which takes up a ton of real estate, is fairly quick, and has some interesting ways that you can change it. If you EX it, he gets a full knockdown. He can actually hold it down and get a stagger. And you can actually cancel out of this hold down. So you can mix up doing the move,
Time. Yeah.
doing different timings, doing the EX, or canceling out of it. Keep the opponent guessing. When you have a projectile like that takes up a ton of space, what's the one thing you know the opponent's going to try to do to beat it?
Jump.
Jump. And that's not going to be super effective because he has an anti-air version. And this has a very neat EX that actually allows him.
Is he snapping his fingers every time?
Oh, okay.
So I think it's pretty cool. Again, it makes a full, full screen projectile.
His numbers aren't
kind of
new,
an
they just
offensive tool.
replaced them with his
Of
old
course.
specials. I know.
Now, one thing would be, well, what happens if they're using projectiles?
I'm really
against
disappointed.
him? And he has a water bubble where he surrounds himself in water, and any projectile is going to be.
He has
negated. It'll
Aquaman
actually just
down,
be
down
destroyed when it
3.
hits the water bubble. And this is something that he can set up, go behind,
Okay.
go in the middle of.
Works as a shield.
Exactly. But if you EX it, it surrounds him and travels with him.
What, for like 2 seconds?
Kind of walk them down.
Exactly. So then you can go in, do his lows, do his overhead, all that good stuff when he has the water shield on.
Gotcha.
Now, there's other ways you can get in. He could set these water portals, and he can set them anywhere he wants. And then he can actually warp through them. So you could do cool stuff, like set one here, go in. when you
He's
want to
literally
get out,
JP.
Warp back to where you were. Or
He's just Street
when
Fighter
you're in,
JP.
you can set one, do some fun zoning, and then use this to get back in.
Okay.
And then you can go straight into combos, fun stuff like that. Now, once you've established that you're willing to teleport or throw out some of these fireballs, and the opponent's scared to move, you can start using the Whirlpool. And he has close, medium, and far. These will go on the ground, and if the opponent walks into it, they get popped up for combos.
I love how he just grabs the top of his staff and
Yes,
throws it down.
it is
Really cool.
so cool looking. Another move he has is
I can already figure out a few combos I can do with that.
This is a pretty good advancing special. He gets 2 and 1 into, and if he EX it, it has armor. So it's a good wake-up attack, a good way to beat pressure, and I think it'll be one of his best combo enders. And then lastly, one more awesome full range move that kind of shows the full
Please be
extent of his
lightning.
power.
Oh, shit, lightning.
Cool.
And this is a move that he can actually hold or cancel and just drop down. So you can do stuff like you're doing your water ball, and what's called it a fireball, and it's literally the opposite of that. Go into this.
Bro, they made rain not cool at all.
Take out the opponent. Immediately drop down. You can set up. You can do all kind of stuff. Set up portals.
They made the coolest Mortal Kombat
move,
character not
cancel
cool.
It, go through the portal. Just all kind of options full screen. I think he's going to be a really interesting character to kind of freeze them up full screen to get him and start doing his mix-ups. And speaking of the mix-ups, let's kind of show how he can use his cameo and go with that. I assigned him Striker because I think a cop teaming with a wizard is the exact.
I'm all for
thing
changing
you
old
see in
characters
Mortal
that
Kombat,
makes
right?
sense. So if it being
So the
this
first thing I'll show
drastic,
with
they could have made a
Striker
new
is he
character.
has his
I
grenade
know.
toss. Straight
That's
out of
what
MK3,
hurts.
Comes in, throws the double grenades. They can either go low or high. And you can imagine, these are ambush moves, which means
You
they
can
come
run.
out while Rain is doing his attacks. So you can do stuff like you're doing your straight water beam while he's doing his grenades. They can also aid you in combos. So you can do stuff like
Got it.
Striker also has a set of baton moves. He's got Cop Bop, where he comes in and does an overhead, and the classic baton sweep from MK3. So these are lows and overheads. So,
Got
great
access
example.
to both of them.
Yes.
Nice.
So, one thing you could do,
I'm not gonna lie, those are kind of useless because you don't really get anything out of them.
you got your overhead, the opponent's stand blocking all the time.
Unless
They
it's
don't wanna get
unless
popped
the
up.
change is
What am
that
I
you'll
supposed
be
to do?
safe on block.
Sweep them. But you can also do this in a string. So in overhead.
If they're punishable on block, it's not useful.
Then they get used to the timing. They're like, oh, I'm one of these like Ninja Killer or Sonic people with good reflexes. I can fuzzy that. Then you start doing stuff like Cop Bop. Mix it up. So just from this 50-50,
Yeah,
you
Rain-
can use
Striker's
Striker
not that
have
good.
More 50-50s.
That's
like,
that's how you
Rain
beat
Striker will be
Exa-
an Injustice
that's
2
the
character
key.
by
That's all you
themselves.
have to
You can
do.
duck everything.
like a
You can just
famous
neutral
football
duck
player
everything
once
and you
said,
won't get
it's
hit.
more than a
It's not like they're all mid projectiles.
Lastly,
And
Striker
Striker's
has
grenades
one
have
more
like a
move,
really weird angle, so
which I
you
think
could
is
probably avoid
my
them most of the
favorite.
times.
My favorite thing is he used a sports reference.
Well, sort of.
Half and half.
Striker comes from behind and handcuffs you, and this gives you a reset. Then you get a bunch of advantage, and you can go for a mix-up.
Okay.
So you get into your
So-
combos.
so you
with the
just get
handcuff
advantage?
move, then go in and continue your offense.
So it's
like,
not a
you can
combo
start a combo with
extender.
your
You just
overhead,
reset your
go
combo
into
and you get
handcuffs, and
more.
then make them
You get a
less
mix.
Got it.
It's super
That's
fun.
really cool.
Yeah.
So you essentially get a free meter
So I
burn
think
throw
that's,
from MKX.
That's Rain and Striker, and I maybe go into his Fatal Blow.
Let's take a look.
And I'll just say Striker is my favorite Fatal Blow.
Okay.
Striker seems to be the most, not gonna lie, the most useless of the cameos for the time being. Like, the tools you get from him don't seem that useful. Not bad for Rain, I guess, but
All right. That was Rain.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really
Very exciting.
disappointed.
People get their hands on Rain soon. That'll be awesome.
He's definitely not washed up.
Nope. Some fresh moves to make your opponent salty.
Nice.
Let's move on. We're going to talk about General Shao now, a character that I'm very excited
Striker,
about.
personally,
As a lover of...
out of all the cameos we've
bruising
seen, they all have
characters.
tools that seem that
he's
could be
still
really
big and bruising.
useful.
He's
But
just
if
a
you can
general
fuzzy
He's just a
guard
general.
and
He's
punish
not the Emperor.
strikers
Right.
He's
mix-ups,
got a new weapon.
there's
new
not really much
moveset.
of a point
A bit
in
of a stance character, but I wouldn't
in
say in
picking
the
him.
same vein as like a
because you can do the same
Right.
thing with
But
other
definitely
cameos.
when he
Like
has axe in
Frost,
his
you get the
hand, axe out of
low,
his hand. When it's out of his
and
hand,
you get a
be
full
careful when you're
combo
near the axe.
on the
That's all I'm
mix
gonna
for
say.
the low.
Let's take a look at how he works.
And then Scorpion, you get the
So,
overhead, and you get a
big thing.
combo off of him.
Just to show, this is kind of the thesis statement. Just swings for the fences.
He's a
right?
powerhouse.
This is back two. It has advantage. So if you're blocking, don't want to push any buttons probably. Push
Yeah,
the
I was
buttons
just
there.
jabbing.
Don't do that because you're going to get hit.
Right.
Great move there. This is a really quick, kind of almost get a little distance to it too. Like I can get you from there. Like really nice, kind of can lead in some combos.
Right.
Punishing move I like to use is this right here. Very fast, bounces them up. We can show some more stuff with that later, but obviously you can see there's some pathways with that move.
I also really like how his kick attacks are just.
Did Rain have any
actually
low
just
combo starters?
Huge big boost.
And
Just like
Yeah.
standard
not
big
starter,
move.
no. He has
And
a string
like a lot
that
of people,
starts
I enjoy the
mid-low.
two-player animation strings.
He had a mid-low
So you
high
have-
move.
He has
That's
this
about
overhead.
it.
Doesn't combo anything, but hit the throw button afterwards.
So good.
Oh
He
yeah,
also
I think
has a
it was
low one as
motorcycle. I didn't hear it. I was too concentrated.
And I'm sure we'll come back to those later as well.
Right.
Now let's talk about his special moves. His special move, the one that kind of encapsulates what he is Power Strike. He will just throw the axe on the ground, and there it is. You have about 7-8 seconds just to do stuff without the axe, right? You can also call it back. Boom.
Okay.
Now, when it's on the ground, different strings. That's back one.
Nice.
He also, and I'll get the axe back after, of course, doing the command grab.
So all of his axe moves get replaced with different normal attacks.
Yes.
And some are faster, some have different reactions.
Right. And some change some of your other special moves. We'll get to that in a second.
Even his throw changes.
Yes, even his throw. So
Here's
his
throw.
throw. While we're at it, let's just show the, Mataro as well. And then with the axe, he just bangs in the face with the axe.
Right.
Other specials he has. So you can.
That wasn't that big of a change.
That was the meter burn. I got a full screen projectile.
That projectile looks
If
brutal.
you're close, you can. Sorry about that. You can do some of this.
Pops up. Nice.
Right.
Hey, that didn't
He
that
has a
didn't combo.
buff.
That reset.
This makes your axe powers do more damage. You can
Okay.
also meter EX that.
Oh,
to
yes,
get
because
more
distorted
time
noise.
as
Okay.
well. Big move in his arsenal that also leads to a lot of crazy good damage is his armored launcher is his knee.
Of course,
Kind
he
of
has a little
represent,
armored launcher.
Kind of makes me think of the MK3 like up shoulder, except now it's a knee.
Right, and you can throw that out a lot of places. Always there. But
What? It's never been
It's
up
knee.
shoulder. It's always up knee.
EX the knee, you get a free power slam after that. So you can do like that.
Okay.
And then his axe is on the ground again.
Okay.
So that's how you rotate throughout the character, right? And now it's on the ground, now it's back to me. So then you can start doing really cool stuff like this into Power Slam.
Is Power
Back
Slam
into
OTG?
Nice.
And that's a pretty nice chunky combo.
And now you have the axe back.
Right. When the axe is on the ground, other cool things can happen. Power Slam, now I have a ground pound.
Neat.
Now here's the interesting thing. When you are on the axe, it is an overhead low,
Oh, that's
Okay.
nasty.
which is kind of tough to block.
Yeah.
You can also, throw this down.
Oh my god, they gave him Doomsday
this.
setups?
Combo
He's
action.
Injustice
quick
2
recall.
Doomsday.
Right. Yeah, so if you have it down, you also have a move.
Injustice
with
1
Speeder,
Doomsday.
Very
Jeez.
fast slash.
Okay.
So a lot of really cool stuff.
So
you
if
can
you're in the
do.
corner,
And
you're
he's
just
clearly
you're
meant
just
to be going
screwed.
in and out during
Yes.
the fight, in the middle of combos, getting it back at the end of combos.
Maybe recalling it if you want to.
Right.
Lots of stuff like that. But if you are, as as my opponent near the axe, there's a lot of stuff you need to think about.
Right. So it's almost like with the axe, you have, you know, kind of
Yeah, it's a pretty
really
big
good range,
change
not the
from
quickest
hammer to
moves.
axe.
Without the axe, you're much quicker, and
Yes.
you can use it. Establish the axe on the screen.
Also,
you're
is
gonna
it
have
just
to
me,
respect
or
it,
is
and
Shao
that's gonna
Kahn
kinda open up
incredibly
your
fast?
grabs, your mix-ups, stuff like that.
And it's super cool. You can also, like, he also, you know, has pick stuff out of the air and that sort of thing. I mean, the knee into power strike is huge.
Right.
Right. Really important. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I do want to show some stuff with Motaro.
Okay.
So Motaro has a couple things you can use. Now, obviously, I'm a big guy. Projectiles might scare me.
Right.
Well, I can do this. I can pull them out, walk behind it. You don't want to be throwing projectiles at
Do the air
That's
one.
so-
that will
good.
reflect. And I'm walking it down with that.
I love that, you know, that's a way to call back to his thick reflect skin from
Right.
MK3.
And now you're kind of you're a little confused. What do you do? Boom, you're
Nice.
He also has this turret he can do. Will shoot 3 shots at you. Has a low one too. He can do that.
Whoa,
Now, here's
that's nasty.
something
That was
I've
quick.
chosen Motaro with General
That
Shao
low
for
is
a reason.
fast.
Okay.
Remember this move.
Yes.
Can't do a lot out of it.
Right.
He has this teleport, right?
Okay.
Maybe you can read a projectile, maybe not. But you can move around the battlefield quicker as
Right.
General Shao. But with this overhead, I can teleport and still
And that's a
continue a
true
combo.
combo.
So it's
a true
essentially
combo.
the
So
same
now you
thing
have
as
to
Kung
worry
Lao
about this.
cameo, where if you
have to worry
teleport,
about,
you can get a combo off
something
of
like
things that
this.
you normally wouldn't.
Like that's now in play.
Right.
So you can do the full thing too. You can do like
What a cool example of one of my favorite things about the cameo system. It
Right.
allows you to break the rules and restrictions of your roster.
And I
character.
think that's why I love Shao so much, is that he breaks the rules also with the knee into power slam. He's
Right.
It's a special into a special, which Johnny can do too. Of course, he breaks that rule at times with his meter, with his height meter. But yeah, there's a lot of cool, fun, sort of breaking the meta of what Shao is, just so you can do with that.
And
Really
I think
cool.
it's so neat about the cameo system. You kind of look at your play style, look at your character, and think, what are my weaknesses? What are the things I think I'm missing? And you can use your cameo to turn those weaknesses into strengths.
Right. And for me, it's like if I'm so far away from people, just as a zoner, just even having this just to get me out of dodge, right?
Right.
Now I'm close again.
Now
and
you're close.
now you don't want to be there. Let's show the. We need to turn up to do the.
Yeah, give yourself a 1%.
Let's do that real quick. Show the fatal blow.
It's a real good one.
Drops it from the sky.
Oh, we're gonna get Shao's fatal, if you didn't see.
Oh,
That's
he's
cool.
not horsing around.
Okay.
Not bad. Not bad. It's pretty good.
General Shao.
Pretty cool.
Super fun. I've had a really good time playing with them. Just a different style of fighting, different than you're used to for General Shao. So
Right.
it's been a really
Yeah,
good
we
time.
know he's
Yeah, and
a
I think it's
typical
really neat.
slow
You know, we
fighter.
also showed Gears having these
But
big
he
brute
is
characters you might think is like, oh, they're
deceptively
brain
fast
dead
now. He's
brawlers,
incredibly
whatever.
quick.
No, in this game, no, they're not. They're definitely.
I'm not gonna
you know,
lie.
Really interesting, nuanced
I
characters.
still
It's really
think
cool.
Sindel definitely
swing
looks
as
like
hard as they want.
she's
Or you
busted.
could just do back to over.
Rain
and over
is
again
not
and throws.
interesting at all.
And that's also
Right.
a fun way to play.
He's just a boring
so
zoner.
before we go, Derek's
and now
not
we
here.
have Shao.
This hurts so bad. You know that, right? It's time for birthday shout-outs, everybody. I don't mind the birthday shout-outs. this
Shao,
time
I'm not
around,
sure of
really.
them.
Here we go. You ready?
I am ready. I'm excited.
Really, you
Lee.
really like Rain.
Regina
mean-
Stefanik,
That's
Ooh,
good, I guess.
kitties.
Nicolette Mihalka,
Personally, I'm so
Brian Evans,
used to how good
Eric
Rain
Buck,
is in MK9.
Kingston Lorenzo,
Also
Tim
using him in
Matthews,
11,
Liv
so I'm so
Nava,
disappointed right
Trinier
now.
Cole, Brad Fauchot,
Because he's supposed to be in
Brian
your face.
Arvizu,
Incredibly
Lynch,
fun
James
combos. But
Ruben Perez, and Chris
now he's
Bartholomew.
full
Those are
on
your birthday
just get
shout-outs
away
for
from
this
the
week.
character, which is
Fun
kind of not fun to
stream.
deal with.
Yes.
I probably said it was shorter. It probably wasn't that much shorter in
Nope.
the end. But we want to get in here and show you some characters. We'll be back very soon to show you more, hopefully. But before we go, I think we have a fight from QA
We do.
that we would love to show you.
This
Between
will be a fun one.
It'll be a really cool one. So we'll show you that. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Something makes him stand out.
The general.
Never was a big
This is
fan
just
of Rain, but I
no
enjoyed
nuance.
it. Yeah.
No,
Ooh,
these are two
Baraka Shao.
monster brawler guys.
I'm assuming since they
love to fight.
showcased General
They're
Shao's
nasty.
gameplay today, that's
So
the
we've got
character that's
Baraka
gonna
with
win
Striker.
the fight. But I would love to see Baraka win and do a fatal.
Regrows blades. Awesome.
And Shao with Motaro. I have no idea why Striker would be working with Baraka, but you don't always have to follow the lore.
Yeah, he just gets an instant low mix. Oh, man, Baraka looks so fun.
Ooh,
Big whiff.
whiffs that overhead.
Power slam.
Let's see if Shao keeps him in the corner. Nope, switches sides.
Now, you can with that move, choose which way
37%,
you
not
wanna
Right.
bad. Jeez. Instant overhead by Baraka.
Big stab, shish kebab. Back to flaming neutral.
go. That big jump stomp that Baraka does is very funny.
Yes.
Oh, that's a flawless block gap. Crazy.
Oh, this is gonna be big.
Notice how he had his knee with a pop up
Wow,
without
I
the
got
action.
so Baraka's fatal blows low.
Forgot to block the second part of that fatal blow, the low. That's tricky. Paid for it.
Neat. It did
Alright, let's see.
32%, which means the other 3%
One way to
is
look at it is at
bleed
least Baraka
damage,
no longer
probably.
has his fatal blow. Good jump attack.
That's such a good air string. I like it.
Ooh, breaker.
Big break. That was going to put the axe on the ground and leave some damage.
I love that his breaker is just a big hind kick. It's so exciting to see Motaro back. You know, he's a character that makes very, very few appearances. Like, I've always
Seems
wanted
like he
him
can
back.
just
It's
mash
very
his back
exciting.
3.
You saw earlier he did the back two twice, but he will do it again.
Yes. Sometimes you got to do it again. The no mix-up, mix-up.
Oh, that whiffed. Okay, he got lucky though.
Big overhead.
Very
Baraka
quick
fatal blow
overhead
kind of
when he
bit.
axes
Yeah,
through the
it's alright. It's just about alright.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There could be matchups where it's better to not use your axe
That's
as much.
punishable.
Have axeless be the main way you fight if they're a faster character, maybe like a Liu Kang or something.
Yeah, as I've been seeing,
Another breaker.
Striker
They
does
take
not
3
seem
bars
too
in this
useful.
game, and I think one thing a lot of people forget is your cameo has to be available.
And notice when he breaks right then, right before.
Yeah, I always
power
forget that you
strike,
need your
his
cameo
actions stay
fully
in track.
available for it.
This is a close one. Oh, really good punish. Gets the turn out. Nice.
Damn, I knew Shao was
That'll be
gonna
it.
win it.
Let's see what he's gonna do.
He did Motaro fatal? Damn.
This looks dangerous for Baraka.
Uh-oh.
Interesting fatal.
Well, that didn't go well for Baraka.
Melted.
That's a bummer.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us.
You know what? I
Twitter,
think
what you think of the characters and whatnot.
I'm glad we got to see Motaro's fatality, but I think I would have preferred if they kept it a secret until launch and people would have, had to watch it. But it's cool. It's cool. So we already saw the Kombat Kast. It's all over. We already saw the Gamescom stuff. So I think that the stream is definitely over for today. It was pretty fun while it lasted. But I really don't think there's anything else that we're getting today that is worth going over at the moment. So, yeah, that should be it. Oh, wait. What did I break here? Okay. I do like how some of the cameo fatalities are quick and over with. Yeah, that one was quick. I think the longest but still coolest one is the Cyrex one. Have you guys seen Cyrex's fatal? No, that's actually something I can look up here real quick. Let's do that. K1 Cyrex fatality.
Fatality. Kung Lao wins.
Oh, and by the way,
Fatality.
now that you saw the fatality, which is amazing, by the way, this is the little thing I've been discussing. So you have mastery level ups now in MK1, which means that the more you use your character, the more you rank them up and the more rewards you get, and it's individual. So you see you have your account 1, you have your main fighter 1, he's already rank 1 here, and he's about to be rank 2, and you also have your Cyrax, which is your cameo fighter rank. So it's everything is individual. Not to mention that you also have your invasion level ups, which are outside, which lets you upgrade your character's stats. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Also, for what I'm seeing here, there's again 3 damn currencies. Please let all of them be earnable by normal means and not have this just be fatals only, because it's gonna take forever to get those coins. Anyway, it's been fun. I will catch you all in the next stream. See you all later.